Yo, what's going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another OPTC video, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the Pyro Lions Kizuna Clash versus Sabo and Koala for the end of the 11th anniversary, running from June 24 to June 29th. We'll be starting in about 2 days' time, and in today's video, we're going to be building some teams for the 10-star event that don't use any of the new batch characters, none of the 11th anniversary shenaniganry, and does not use a dragon or a genie as a friend captain. However, if you're lucky enough to find dragon or a genie friend captain, you definitely can run dragon or genie as a friend captain with these particular teams, or I'm pretty sure you can. You can definitely run dragon for both of the teams, but genie might be a bit of a tricky one. So today we're going to have a look at some teams, talk about the content, all that fun stuff. It is a regular 10-star Kizuna, so it is going to be very, very hard to get your hands on the skulls. Sabo and Koala's skulls are available in box 4 to 6. You're going to be needing to do your assists. Make sure you use the suicide strategy. Make sure you are on top of that assist timer every 15 minutes. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll leave a link in the description for the suicide strat and how to successfully use it with your alliance and build up as many assists as possible, because like I said, assists is the name of the game when it comes to these 10-star Kizuna and non-super boss events. As for the shop, we are getting some limited time discounts. I love that they are doing these discounts. It is very, very nice of them. It does help out new players pick up some super evolutions that are very good for Grand Voyage, so keep it up, OPTC. It's very good that you guys are doing that. As for the rest of the stuff here, nothing really too much to note. You do obviously have the boosted characters. The genie and the dragon unit are going to give you 1.45 times tickets. Besides that, everyone else is just stat boost. So realistically, what you want to do here is try and find dragon and genie for your suicide runs, hit them, put up the assist, and then go do your regular assists elsewhere. But like I said, today, like if you can't find them as friend captains, don't stress. These teams will work without them. Obviously, just the damage will start to get limited as you get higher and higher up. But the upside to these 10-star Kizunas is a lot of people don't use potions because you want to save them for super boss runs. So you realistically won't be seeing too many runs past level 30. So the teams don't have to be like disgustingly fine-tuned when it comes to damage output. But let's start it off with the quick variation. Obviously, Dragon and Genie are going to be the recommended characters. Cerebral Strikers and Drew get all the good stuff, but obviously you want to just build with Cerebrals. The enemy is weak to Cerebrals, so just once again, Cerebrals, just like, I feel like since Sabo's release at New Year's, they've just thrown so much Cerebral-based content at us in terms of the weakness debuff. On Battle 2, there's normal attacks only, defense down immunity, 7 turns of defense up, 1 turn of threshold. If you remove the defense up, then the enemy does a crewmate swap, so any random crewmate will become captain. And if you also drop defense, so do a defense down, you're also going to have to deal with the captain swap. Now, this is just directly in counter to using dragon. Like, so if you use dragon on your team or as a friend captain and you use him on turn 2, you can set defense down by 80%. You choose someone on your team and do a captain swap, and then you don't have to worry about the captain swap interrupts and stuff like that as well. So yeah, if you're going to run Dragon as friend captain, you can just basically use him here and just sort of counteract literally everything on this particular turn, because he removes the threshold, he sets defense by 80%. You can then use his EX if you build a team right, and then you just get a defense down conditional. And then obviously you run full Cerebrals, you're going to get increased damage taken. So even though it's only 80% defense down, it should be enough to kill that particular stage. As for the final stage at level 30, because all these teams are designed for that, Sabo Koala have full immunity, immune to blow away, percent damage reduction, and then they're weak to Cerebral characters. They give you 6 turns of bind after sockets on your left-hand column, full border block slots, normal attacks only, 8 turns of damage reduction, 2 turns of damage nullification, and then there is a attack down when by 90% if you attack with strength, basically any of the type orbs, and tandem slots. If you do any slot change, the enemy's going to put up a 3-turn slot barrier for 3 tandem orbs. So the team we put together looks a little bit like this. Now, as I mentioned, if you can find a dragon friend captain and you just use dragon on turn 2, you're basically just going to cover everything. You can then swap Sabo into your top right-hand slot, and then you just bypass the captain swap. You just take care of all the shenaniganry. And then what you can actually do is you can actually replace Law and Robin on this team, as you don't actually need them for the final stage. But I would probably still keep Robin, just because Robin goes into the EX of Dragon, and then you could basically just replace Law with any other character that is needed for the Dragon EX. But as for this, if you run double Atlas, then you are going to be absolutely fine. If you run Ginny as a friend captain, like, you are going to be a little bit sticky. You're going to probably need 2 more turns of damage reduction, I believe, unless Ginny removes that. Yeah, so Ginny removes that, so like you can easily run a Ginny friend captain with this team as well. Ideally, if you can't find Dragon or Ginny as friend captain, use the Law special on turn 2. He's going to then captain swap himself, and then you can use Robin to remove the damage, the threshold, as well as the defense up. She removes 5 turns of both. Now that I'm looking at it, you're going to need a little bit more than that, which is a bit of a shame. Actually, I'm just bugging. I was utilizing the wrong Law. You want to use the Strength Law. Law also removes 3 turns of defense up. Robin removes the other 5, and then you're basically good to go from there. With the supports, you can get around the bind on the final stage. It is only on the left-hand column. It will go down to 6 turns. So with Ace, Corazon, and the Morley support, you are covered there quite nicely. To take care of the damage reduction, we have the double Atlas. You're going to remove all of that. If you're using Ginny, she's also removing damage reduction. But if you're using double Atlas, you're not going to need the Robin special on. Sorry, if you're using Dragon as a captain and not using double Atlas, you're not going to need to use the Robin special on turn 2, so you can save her special for the final stage, which will allow you to get that damage reduction off there. Usopp and Lilith, they're taking care of the damage nullification. Atlas has got a full Cerebral team, so she can give you an attack boost, she gives you an orb boost. Works out very, very nicely. Then Usopp and Lilith become a chain boundary effect. You can use the Sabo special for the what's it called? The advantageous class effect. And it all works out like pretty hunky-dory from there. You're not doing any orb manipulation with this particular team besides Robin. And then if that does happen, you are going to have to deal with a tandem orb barrier, I believe. But now that I'm looking at it, you actually get block orb. So, yeah, you don't want to have to deal with the captain swap. So, the orb rotating shenanigans. Otherwise, you're then going to have to deal with the barrier. Now, Sabo, he can give you tandem orbs if you guys are bringing Dragon as a friend captain. Because you have Dragon, Kuma, and Imikov, it actually works for the Sabo EX. I believe he only needs 2 units for this to work. So again, a huge reason why Robin just works so well there. But if you can't find Dragon as a friend captain and you are running Atlas, then you basically have the super swap of Usopp and Lilith. Usopp and Lilith are going to give you a Jason and Bomb Orb on themselves. So that's just going to allow you to do a little bit more damage. Provided Robin doesn't get that orb, she's not going to do that giant orb rotation that she does. And from here, you're pretty much absolutely hunky-dory with damage output and the shenanigans. Like I said, a little bit finicky with the 10-star event, but it's not a huge problem because people aren't really going to be cracking level 30. Moving into the next fight now against Sabo Koala, the Int variation. Again, Ginny and Dragon are the recommended characters. Slashers, Cerebrals, and Free Spirit, I think. Free Spirit? No, Striker. Cerebral, Strikers, and Slashers get all the good stuff. On Battle 2, there's 5 enemies, which is very annoying. You get 3 turns special rest on your Sailors. Lock slots. All orbs get turned, type orbs get turned to unfavorable for 3 turns. And then all your slots will get turned to unfavorable orbs. Very, very annoying. On defeat, there is 60,000 damage. And then after 1 turn for the mob units that'll be in the back, they are going to do 10,000 damage and run away. So ideally, you kind of want to kill them. But if you can't, they will just retreat. As for level 30, plus a lot of annoying shenanigans here. Sabo and Koala have full immunity, immune to defeat specials, and the percent damage resistance. The weakness class is Cerebral once again, and when your HP is below 50%, you have to deal with 1 extra debuff, which is the defense up on the final stage. Otherwise, you just have to deal with bind, hunger, normal attacks only, and a damage threshold at 90% for 3 turns, and then 7 turns of damage threshold itself. After 1 turn, which you're going to have to deal with because of the damage limiter, normal attacks only, losing potential abilities, orbs get turned to block, and then there's a slot barrier for recovery orbs, which is very, very annoying. So the team I put together looks a little bit like this. We are running Shanks as our captain, with either a friend captain Dragon or another friend captain being Shanks as well. Now, on turn 2, you realistically want to tank damage. You don't want to get below 50% HP. So the idea what we're doing here is we're utilizing the Nami and Karina special. They're going to give us, they obviously immune to special reverse. You can swap with them. That's going to give you some G orbs. And I believe they have their super swap ready to go, so it's going to be a 3-turn base attack. You can use the Karina special. You're going to get some cooldowns, which is great for the entire team, but you're also going to give yourself the threshold buff, which is going to allow you to tank a lot of damage. That 60,000 should get reduced quite drastically and should work quite nicely. They're also going to give you an orb boost as well. Sabo's EX can be used here as well, but look, I would save that for the final stage. You can also use the the Luffy and Uta special here too. I just included them here because they are a type advantage cerebral Luffy character. They also give recovery orbs, which is really, really good for the second turn on the final stage as well. But Nami-Korean is pretty much the only character you're going to need to use here. Remember, you're going to have a full board of unfavorable slots, which is, again, a little bit annoying. But I believe just with those G-Orbs and the Orb Boost, you should be fine. Otherwise, you can use the Sabo EX here to get a full board of tandem slots. But I do realistically want to use that on the final turn. On the final turn, or actually, I don't even know if we get the Sabo EX. No, you don't even get the Sabo EX with this particular team now I'm looking at it, unless you are running Dragon as a friend captain. Then you're basically just, again, stuck with utilizing Shanks, which shouldn't be too much of a problem, if I'm honest. But at the same time, like, you could use the Shanks special on turn 2, and then swap with Nami-Korean that way. Yeah, that should work too. If you guys aren't using Dragon as a friend captain. Once you move to the final stage, you're going to have to deal with Bind, which Shanks takes care of. Shanks also takes care of the Hunger. Normal attacks only, and then the damage limiter, then there's Threshold. So the idea here is Sabo is very good at just giving that class advantageous buff for 2 turns. And if you have Dragon, and you can get the EX off of Dragon, which I don't think we can with this particular team, which kind of sucks, but you can then just get all his full effectiveness. But even just that territory and the advantageous class buff is just so much damage, and it's just a great option for bringing someone like Sabo. To remove the Threshold, we're using the Sugo Fest exclusive Mihawk. If you guys don't have this Mihawk, you can just replace Mihawk with another Threshold remover. Does need to be 7 turns, but the upside to running Mihawk is he gives you an attack boost. Shanks gives you the Orb boost with his EX, and then you have the what's it called? The Color Affinity Overrideable buff. Then on the second turn, when you have to deal with the barrier, you can either use the Shanks special there, or you can use the Luffy, Uta, and Markino special to sort of take care of that. So that's kind of the plan with removing the barrier, utilizing the recovery orbs. You do lose your potential abilities, and you do have to deal with block orbs. I'm pretty sure these guys rotate through block orbs. Yeah, so they rotate block orbs, and they give you recovery. Or what you can do is you can just say stuff it and just save the Shanks special for the second turn and use the Shanks special to remove the barrier completely. If you are running 2 Shankses, you can definitely do that. Obviously running 2 Shankses and using the Shanks special on the turn before is going to allow you to get a carryover color affinity buff. You can have 4 turns of color affinity, so that's not going to be too much of a problem, and you can kind of just go from there. The Mihawk super type, I believe it's a super type, can be used as a sailor as well. He gives himself a tandem orb, which won't be removed. He gives you color affinity, which can be overwritten, so you can actually use that on the turn before if you want to. So that way you get chain boundary effect, and then you just sort of hang on to that that tandem orb too. But look, there's lots of ways you can go about this. This fight doesn't seem too bad, but look, the pesky shenanigans of the damage limiter and captain swap do make it very, very challenging if you guys don't have a dragon friend captain. But if you find dragon friend captains, like, it is going to make your life a lot easier with this particular fight. If you find Ginny as a friend captain, you could probably use Ginny just on turn 2. I believe she gives you a full board of recovery orbs, if I remember correctly. So that can work as well. But realistically, you want to try and find Dragon as a friend captain. As always, I will do playthrough videos with these particular teams, so make sure to hit the bell notification on the channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you enjoy the video, bell like button. Let me know in the comment section below too if you guys want to see some other teams for this particular event that do utilize some of the 11th anniversary characters. I don't know if we're going to realistically need to, because Dragon wants to use Cerebral and Free Spirit characters, and realistically the only Cerebral or Free Spirit character that kind of works is Luffy, Zoro, Sanji with these types of characters. But let me know in the comment section below if you guys want to see anything like that. I will put out some bespoke Dragon or Ginny only friend captain teams, and then I'll probably put out my teams as well, just because I did manage to pull Dragon myself, but I don't have Ginny, so it will be very interesting to see what those teams look like as well. But like I said, bell like button, hit the subscribe button, do all that good stuff. Most importantly, wherever you guys are in this beautiful world, please enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.